Heidi Hutchison and Jamie, let me get my sheet out here. Gitlin, please, for the intermediate goat showmanship. Hey, Courtney Blagg, senior sheep showmanship. Makeup area, please. If y'all are going to scratch, please let us know. Last call here. We're lining senior sheep showmanship up, class number 1. Be ready, please. Dylan's going to bring in the ring. Intermediate showmanship for the goat side, class 3. One more time, Heidi Hutchison, are you with us in the intermediate goat showmanship? Heidi, please. We're good to go. Intermediate showmanship on the goat side. Senior showmanship on the lamb side. What excitement, 2 times the fun here. We're going to bring 4 cuts of these intermediate showmanship on the goat ring. We're going to bring 4 cuts of them. We're going to pick a Cheyenne 2 and then jacket 5. So senior sheep showmanship, same way. There's going to be 4 cuts, 4 heats, and we're going to bring you back and pay them off the same way. Cheyenne 2, more buckles to give away today. Judging our sheep showmanship this afternoon is Evan McLean from Anderson, Indiana. He grew up competitively showing livestock all over across the country at minors and majors. He operates McLean Show Stock. He helps all the young exhibitors accomplish their goals in a multitude of species, as well as running a small number of ewes himself. He's a graduate of Lincoln Land Community College, as well as a graduate of Western Illinois University, and where he was a member of the livestock judging team, obtained a degree in ag business. So welcome to Evan McLean. He's going to finish our sheep showmanship this afternoon here at the Expo.
All right, I need...
Intermediate goat showmanship. We're missing Trowell and Sumner and Kinsley White at the makeup area, please. Hey, if you're going to scratch for this, help us out a little bit, and please let somebody either up here at the desk or like Kinsey over there at the makeup area. Let us know, please. I want to thank again Pineless Distilling, longtime sponsors with it. They've been here longer than most of us, so thank them for sponsoring. Every little bit of they sell, they give us a portion of that, plus they donate all of the prizes. We give away whiskey all week long, especially to some of those open class exhibitors. Dylan, announcer stand, please. Mr. Dylan Freeman.
good group to get us kicked off in our intermediate showmanship. And, as we pick at 5, I think it's variable on how many I'm going to keep back. But, man, I thought 2 young men that sorted up rather handily. I thought they were smooth. I thought they were efficient in terms of getting their goats presented. And then, again, on top of that, I thought they did that with a little bit of extra finesse and flair. Young lady right here is as close as any of them to getting the call back on that side of things. And though I loved our rear foot placement, I thought your understanding of the ring was incredibly good. I thought your push and brace was awesome. And then again, I thought our top line balance was incredible as well. That goat, I want to buckle over in terms of its knee at times. I thought we had to make sure that goat didn't do that, especially on its show side. But man, I thought you were very, very close. Keep working very, very hard, and I think you will get a lot of callbacks. Young lady right here, again, rear foot placement is absolutely fantastic. The way that we had that thing's spine and the way that we have that thing's head are all very, very good. We need to couple that goat up just a little bit more. We're a little overextended for my liking. Going to make him look just a little bit lackadaisical there in terms of his spine. But man, that is a very, very nice job getting a rear foot placement done. Young lady right here, again, better in terms of their spine management. Again, I really like her in terms of her rear foot placement. To me, we're maybe just a little bit too coupled up. I thought we could stretch that goat out, maybe pop its front feet forward and get him just a little bit more in line. But again, I liked our spine placement. Young lady right here, great body positioning, great eye contact. Unfortunately, while we get that goat to push and drive, he's pushing and driving just a little bit too hard, and that'll cause him to overstretch. It'll cause him to drive down with the base of his shoulder. I wish that we could maybe just make him drive a little bit less, but very, very nice job. Young lady right here, it's probably as good of an image as we've gotten of that goat so far. Keeping that goat's spine and head where they need to be. Rear foot placement is awesome. Again, though, I thought maybe our front foot positioning was a little bit off. I actually thought we could get just a little bit more in front of that goat with our own body positioning as well, but very, very nice job. Young lady right here, in terms of squareness of foot and placement, a fantastic job. Again, I like our hand placement, I like our body positioning, but while I like our squareness of foot placement, we got to couple that goat up a little bit more. Again, just a little overextended for my liking. Young lady right here drove the short straw, and unfortunately her goat isn't working with her in the same regard, but again, a very, very good understanding of the ring, very good eye contact as well. Young lady right here, again, awesome presentation, great skin. I thought that goat just needed to be just a little bit square on all 4 corners. Goat's wanting to pull back on us and not just drive into us the same regard. Young lady right here, I thought, you did an incredible job of keeping that goat's head and neck up, and naturally that goat wants to pull down on you a little bit. Unfortunately, that goat will rise up there in terms of its spine. I think we need to mitigate that to move on over here. A great start to our intermediate division. Give them a big round of applause if you would.
Good first heat of seniors over here on our sheep side, and I thought 2 young people that just commanded my attention just in terms of initial impression as they come through the gates, and so that's where they get the pull. I thought Showman over here really, really good. I think a couple of them were really close calls. Young lady up front, good in terms of her body posture, hand placement, gets that sheep a little too stretched out, and it'll wash out in terms of his spine. Similar story with the young man right here, but on the opposite end, you get that one to drive just too hard. His front feet will roll up underneath of himself, and then he'll slide out behind. Young man right here is calm, cool, and collective. I like his body posture. I want to change his hand placement, make him just a little bit more intense. Young lady right here was a really, really close call. I think everything she does is really, really good. In terms of her body posture, in terms of her hand placement, I thought maybe just front feet got off. I maybe just wish you were just a shot more intense. Young man right here does a really good job in terms of getting drive and brace out of this particular sheep. Sometimes you let him overstretch just a little bit. It'll wash out in terms of his loin. I want to relax him in terms of where his nose sits. Young lady right here, similar story. You get that sheep. He'll want to rock forward too much. I want to relax him in terms of where his head's at. Young man right here does a really good job in terms of feet and leg placement. We just need to rock that one's head and neck back just a little bit more. Young lady right here has got a really big sheep that maybe makes it a little more difficult to show. She's got the right body posture, the right hand placement. We just need to manage and change where feet are at times. And the young lady here, it's going to go ahead and round out. I think does a really, really good job. Another one that I think was a close call. I think he's a tough kind of a showmanship sheep to just show. He's just a little lower shouldered, a little thicker necked, and so it's hard to get him to drive and run uphill, get his head and neck where it needs to be. But an awesome first heat, if you guys would. Give him a nice round of applause.
Thanks, Evan. Appreciate that. Senior Showmanship finals are Kaylee Eddington and Cooper Anderson. That's the first 2 making the finals as Senior Sheep Showmanship. Hey, let's look at the finals of the intermediate showmanship out of that Class 3. Zane Richardson and Dylan Pittman, you're going to come back for our finals. Class 2 on the sheep side should be entering the ring right now, Class 2. And we got class number 4 in the intermediate side on the goat ring, Class 4. So Class 5 intermediate showman, please be checking in. Class 5 intermediate. Now remember now to upgrade your Showman app. That helps you a lot. If you don't upgrade it, sometimes you're getting wrong information. We got a little bit of time here, you know, right in the middle of the sheep and goat showmanship to really recognize and thank our sheep and goat committee for the work they do for us all year long. They put a lot of hours in. Mr. Dylan Freeman's the chairman. Jason Simpson, Justin Nathan, Clay Elliott, Tyson Rule, Braxton Olson, Bobby Strecker, Sidney Beatty, Chase Taylor, Mike Frink, Pam Freeman. That's kind of our sheep and goat committee. We do appreciate everything they do for us. Class 3, senior sheep showmanship. Be lining up at the makeup area.
Another good heat of intermediate showmen, and again, 2 speedy, efficient kind of showmen that come out here with incredible presentation and then kind of rock it out and kind of set the pace and the tone. Again, I do think this heat has been very, very good and very deep. Young lady right here, from your shoulder back on that goat, I think we've done an absolutely fantastic job. Skin and hair and presentation are awesome. That goat's pushing and rocking and driving. Unfortunately, we're just a little offset on either side of our skeleton. We need to make sure that we're just a little bit square. But man, I thought, you know, your management of the upper portion of that thing's body was very, very good. The young man right here, I thought, you know, just in terms of squareness of feet and legs, we did an awesome job. I thought we could do a great job of getting that thing's head and neck in the right position. That goat will drive up there in terms of its spine at times. I think we can kick that thing's front feet forward just a little bit, and that'll allow that thing's spine to kind of settle and level. But very, very nice job as well. Young man right here, again, presentation has been fantastic all day. A multitude of goats that have been shown incredibly well. For myself, I think we can change our hand positioning to allow that goat to better tie his neck out of the top of his shoulder. He maybe wants to get just a little offset in terms of his rear feet, but that goat is driving up and at you. A very, very nice job of doing that. Congratulations to you on getting that goat exhibited very well. Young lady right here, again, eye contact, intensity, understanding of the ring are all very, very good. You know, I love the way that we have our goat, you know, partitioned in terms of how far apart his legs are. I like how square they are. Unfortunately, that goat's not giving us the same kind of drive all the time. He'll want to just rise up in the center portion of his back. I think we need to mitigate that ever so slightly. Young lady right here, again, I think just in terms of the management of that goat around the ring and maneuvering around the ring, I can tell that you've worked really, really hard with your project, and so I want to commend you for that. Unfortunately, I think we can get our body just a little bit more in front of that goat. I think we can get our feet and legs just a little bit square, but I did want to commend you on the fact that it looks like you've worked very, very hard with your project. Young lady right here, tremendous hair on that goat. Again, I think just an awesome understanding of the ring. I think eye contact and intensity are absolutely fantastic. I think, you know, your ability to get that goat to show herself off with the chain is fantastic as well. I found us just being just a little bit offset in terms of our foot placement. Our left front foot will get just a little bit far outside of her, and then our offset on our rear feet is just a little bit too much for my liking. But again, I thought you understood the ring incredibly well. Young man right here, I thought, you know, you did an awesome job of maneuvering around the ring with that goat. I need to see more push and drive. I need you to take this portion of your leg and take it into that thing's breastplate. I think that'll allow that goat to push and elevate up into you. Young lady right here, again, just kind of drew the short side of the stick with that one because your goat in class showed for you incredibly, incredibly well. Your presentation has been fantastic. You know, you came out here and did a very, very nice job. That goat came out here and decided that he didn't want to be your buddy at this stage, at this time, you know, but he's had a long day way of being very, very, very successful. I think you do an awesome job of keeping with it. I think you do an awesome job of showing that goat off. Unfortunately, this showmanship, he's just acting like a little bit of a jackwagon. Young lady right here, again, I think you've done a nice job of stretching your goat out appropriately. Unfortunately, that goat wants to dance around on you a little bit. Congratulate these guys with a big round of applause. I'm excited for the two that are coming back to come back out here in their drive setting.
Okay, it's time for me to get my mean voice on again. The building manager came over and said we need all of the vehicles moved from the south side and the vehicles moved on the east side. Marshall is just right across the street and he'll come shut us down. So please get those vehicles moved away from the building.
I think another awesome heat, and I think this heat's probably just a little bit deeper in terms of showman quality, maybe than the last ones. Take nothing away from it, but you just never know. In each particular heat, again, I think 3 showmen that are dynamic, that do things really, really well. And again, I think there's some over here that were close calls. Young lady here up front in red shirt does a really nice job in motion. She can get this thing to get out and travel just the way that she needs to. Her body posture and her hand placement, all those things are really, really good. She's got the mechanics and the basics down. Just for me, too many times catching feet off. We can get that one to just act a little bit better, get feet where we need to be. Then in my mind, everything else is a no-brainer how to make her a pull. Young man right here, obviously small sheep and you're a tall guy, so understand the battle. I think just for me, front feet will get off just a little bit, and maybe I wish we could get down and get just a little bit more out of that particular sheep. Another really close call is a young lady right here. Again, her body posture, hand placement, her intensity, and her eye contact, all those things are really, really good. For me, we just caught those back feet off too many times, and it's close, and it's really, really tight, and I don't want to bring too many back. And then to me, just maybe a tough showmanship sheep to kind of show. I wish we could maybe manage where her spine and loin set within to her more. I think if we're doing that, then I think we can easily make you a pull. Young man right here, got another showman really good in terms of his body posture and his feet placement. Again, I just wish we could get more out of that particular sheep. I think if we could wrap your body just back around a little bit, get a little lower, I think she'll drive and she'll run uphill. Really like the body posture, the hand placement. The young lady here coming next does an awesome job in terms of presenting this one's front skeleton. Just for me, we just need to manage where her spine sits, and I think just some feet. We caught those off one too many times. Young lady here coming next, another one that just does a really, really good job. I thought another close call. I thought good in terms of eye contact, good in terms of her body posture. I like her hand placement. I wish she'd get just a little bit more out of this particular sheep, get him to just rock and roll, run and drive uphill like I think he can, and then I think it's a no-brainer. Young lady here coming next, we did manage that one in terms of his spine, get his nose down and rock his head back, and then the young lady here on the far end is one that does a really good job in terms of her eye contact and her body posture. To me, though, he'll kind of want to lock out in terms of his hawk, and so trying to catch and manage that. If you guys would, give all these kids a really nice round of applause. They deserve it. They're doing an absolutely awesome job.
Hey, that was a Class 2 of the Senior Showmanship. Coming back for the finals, Bella Campbell, Ellie Carvis, Cooper Maxwell. Hey, let's catch up on the goat side. We're in Class number 5 right now, Intermediate Showmanship. Coming back from Class 4, Kason Lane Newell, Sophie Ramial. So here we go. Class number 3 of the Senior Showmanship should be entering the ring. And Class number 6, Intermediate, should be in the makeup area, please.
People just said, oh, this is a major.
Kate Pieper, makeup area, please. Your class is going in the ring. Be ready for us. Showman, be ready for us, please.
Really, really good heat, and that's reflected in keeping an extra young person out here. Very, very good heat. And the young man up front, you're about as close as any of them to making it over onto that side. I think you do an awesome job maneuvering around the ring with your critter. I think you did an awesome job when we got in and braced that critter as well. Personally, for my own personal preference, we're a little sheepy in our showmanship style, and though I like that we got off that goat, she'll kind of get just a little deviated behind her shoulder because she's not wanting to push and elevate up in the but man, I thought that was unique. I thought that was kind of a cool way to get things stuck. Young lady right here, I thought our freshness of hair and skin and presentation were awesome. Thought our front feet were just a little bit far out in front of us. Kind of a same story right here with the young lady in the striped shirt. You know, I thought our rear foot placement, I thought our spine top line management was really good. Thought we just got a little bit overstretched for my own personal liking. Young lady right here is kind of on the contrary. I thought our front foot placement was absolutely awesome. I thought our rear foot placement could have been stretched out at times. That go to want to get just a little bit too coupled up for me at times, but man, I thought your eye contact, your intensity, your understanding, your hand placement were all very, very good. I thought you were a showman that was very, very close to transcending over onto that side of things. But so keep working. Very, very nice job. Young man right here, love the way that we get this go to push and drive and elevate up into us. Similar story to a couple of other young people out here. We got to make sure that our front feet are set correctly, and then honestly, our back feet are just on the verge of being a little bit too far offset for myself as well. So, you know, that's something that we can continue to work on at home or in the yard. But man, you do such a good job of getting that goat to push and drive and elevate up in the young lady right here. Again, talking about a push and a brace and a drive, you might get as much push and brace and drive as anybody out here. Unfortunately, it kind of works to your undoing. That goat will want to drive down at the base of his shoulder and might want to just drive down on you because he's pushing so hard. That'll make him look just a little bit deeper and chunkier up front. If we can shake that goat's head out and then get it just a little bit more underneath that goat, I think we're definitely cooking with grease on that one. Keep your chin up, keep your head high. You're a very, very good showman. Young lady right here, great job at keeping that goat his head and her neck up, keeping her spine level. I think it's kind of a more unique breeding doe style of showmanship. Ultimately, I wish we could stretch that goat out just a little bit more, but I thought you did a very, very nice job. Young lady right here, you've come out here and you've shown a lot of goats today, and you've done a very, very nice job at doing so. And again, I've come to expect it from you. Your goats are pushing and they're flat backed. The rear leg placement is awesome. That goat is just wanting to fight you a little bit in terms of its front feet. Keep working at home, and I think you'll definitely make the call back. Congratulations to these exhibitors. Tremendous job. Give them a big round of applause if you would.
Hey, that was the Class 5 of the Goat Showmanship, Intermediate Goat Showmanship. Hayes Johnson, you're coming back. Brooklyn Nelson, you're coming back. Brooklyn Jaratowski, you're coming back to the finals. Congratulations. Class 6 Intermediate Showmanships coming in the ring. Then we're going to do the finals on the goat side. And over here on the sheep side, we're right in the middle of Class 3, Senior Showmanship, Class 3. Class 4, the makeup area is yours. We're not going to wait all day.
another really, really awesome heat. And again, I think some real close calls. Young lady here up front does a really good job in terms of her body positioning and her hand placement. Wish we could rock that sheep's nose down just a little bit, pick him up in terms of his spine, and maybe manage where his hind legs at. But again, I think really good job. Body posture is good. Want to relax your hands just a little bit, get him more on his face, relax his nose, and then pick him up in terms of his spine. Then I think we're good. Young lady right here with the blue sheep, it's really, really close. Gets a lot out of him. Really good in terms of her body positioning, her eye contact, and her hand placement. All those things are really, really good. For me, though, I think at times you want to overdrive him just a little bit, and his front feet will rock underneath of him, but it's really, really close. She does a very, very good job. Young lady right here with the speckle influence sheep, again, real good job. We could rock his head and neck back just a little bit more. You manage everything else really, really good. Again, similar story here. The management on everything's really good. I just want to bring that sheep together a little bit. It'll get just a little too stretched out. Buddy here is going to round out. I think you got a weather that's going to do pretty good tomorrow, if I were to guess. He's really high quality. You do a good job getting him shown and presented. I just want to bring your body around him just a little bit more, and then get him to drive, lock his honk in on this side just a little bit. But again, awesome group. Excited to get these three back. If you guys would, give them a nice round of applause. The kids deserve it. They're working hard.
Another really, really good heat in our intermediate division, and two stellar young men who kind of soared up. In my mind, they are quick, they are efficient, they get such a good push, embrace, and drive, and then the attention to detail that occurs when both of them are getting their goats to set up is very, very good. If you're on the outside of the ring, I would definitely look in. I think they're doing a fantastic job. Again, young lady right here, I think we're very, very close. I think our rear foot positioning is awesome. I think the way that we manage that thing's spine and head and our own body positioning is fantastic. Again, front feet are a little bit off. I don't know if that goat's just pushing and driving to the same regard, but man, I thought you did a very, very nice job of managing that goat from its forerib back. I thought you did a very, very good job. The young lady right here, I thought, man, just in terms of squareness of foot, I thought we did a great job of keeping our feet square. We're a little overstretched. Our neck is tied just a little bit lower. I think we can get that thing's head and neck position just a little bit higher and then truly drive into that goat, and I think that'll allow us to move up and maneuver. Young lady right here, skin and hair are absolutely fantastic. I'm a big fan of the work that you've put in at home to get to this point. I think we can change our hand positioning and allow our fingers to run on the side of that goat's face. I think that'll allow for that goat to better position his neck out of the top side of its shoulder, because our foot positioning and our length of body are absolutely fantastic. I thought you've done a great job in that regard. Young lady right here, rear foot placement, absolutely awesome. Spine placement, fantastic. Head and neck placement are great as well. I thought we needed to have just a little bit more confidence to be just a skosh more efficient. I thought we needed to pop that goat's front feet forward and allow that goat to truly brace and drive into us. But you did a very, very nice job today. Young lady right here, I thought we needed to just stretch that goat out just a little bit more, because you're so smooth and calm and collected in terms of the way that you get that goat positioned. I thought we just needed to get a little bit more aggressive and get that goat just stretched out. But you've done a very, very nice job. Young man right here, incredible push, incredible brace, incredible drive. And I remember you because over there your goat had just an incredible touch and tone. That's because he's pushing and driving very, very good. And then you also have that goat incredibly hydrated, which is awesome. I wish that we could just stretch that goat out a little bit more, and I think we'd be cooking with grease. Young man right here, again, from that thing's full rib back, we're doing a fantastic job. Just make sure his front feet are a little bit square for myself. I think you'll definitely move on. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Tremendous heat.
Hey, that was Class 6 Intermediate Showmanship. Hey, we're on the finals of Intermediate. Intermediate Goat Showmanship in the ring, please. Hey, coming out of that Class 6 Intermediate Showmanship of the Goats, Dayton Mordvet and Cole Spurlock. You're going to finish that up. Looks to me like we got about 9 of you coming back. 9 kids coming back. Intermediate Goat Showmanship. Good luck to one. Good luck to all. Hey, we're on the last cut of Senior Showmanship on the sheep side. If you made your cut, if you're coming back for the finals, makeup area is yours. Hey, we're giving away buckles and jackets over here on the goat side. Intermediate Showmanship Finals as we are speaking.
Another really awesome and competitive heat, and our last heat here on our senior side, and really excited to get into our overall senior showmanship. I think it's going to be really, really good. This heat in particular, I thought was really high quality. This young lady up front, I think, is an incredibly close call. I think having to not pull too many, so don't get a crowded ring makes it tough. Because I think right here, right now, you've got everything where it needs to be. I wish you could rock her head and neck back just a little bit, but at times we just got you. You want to get your front feet underneath of you just a little bit, but I think your body posture, your hand placement, all those things are really good. Young lady here coming next, another one that in terms of her body posture, in terms of her hand placement, just eye contact, I think is really, really good. We'll get just a little bit off in terms of feet placement. We'll want to set it front and back feet just a little wide, and so I think if we can manage those things, then we'll be really, really good. Young man here coming next, another one that I think in terms of just getting drive and brace out of this particular sheep does a really good job. Gets him to drive and run right uphill for me. I want to rock his head and neck back. Times you want to get him to drive maybe just a little too hard, and his front feet will kind of work and roll underneath of him. Again, awesome body posture and hand placement. The mechanics, the basics are down. Just got to manage that one in terms of his spine, manage where he's at in terms of rear feet. Young lady here coming next, tremendous job in terms of the basics and the mechanics. Thought another one was a close call. I like her body posture. She does a good job in terms of where feet are at. I just wish we could get his head, neck, and nose to just relax a little bit more. And then I think that you're an easy pull in my mind. Young man here coming next. Really good job. I wish we could relax your body just a little bit. It kind of looks like you're sitting out here on tiptoes. I think if we can relax your body posture, your hand placement and everything of where your body's positioned on the front side of the that particular sheep's really good. I just wish we could relax you just a little bit. Young lady here coming next was a really, really close call in my time, extra intense, and I like that about her. Really awesome in terms of her body posture and her hand placement. For me, you want to just get that sheep probably driving just too hard, and then her feet will get underneath of him, and then when you don't, you'll get him stretched out just a little too much. So I think if we can manage those things, then I think you're a no-brainer in my mind to come back, and you're very, very competitive. Young lady here at the South Down, again, I think good job. She's calm, she's cool and collected. That sheep probably just didn't want to act like a perfect showmanship sheep. I think that's what gets her in trouble. Young buddy here on the end with the speckle-faced shoe, doing a bang-up job. He was a close call in my mind. His body posture and hand placement are actually pretty good. He does a good job in terms of getting that thing spine collected, maybe just a little fidgety for this particular judge. I think he can tone that down. He's a no-brainer pull, but if you guys would, give him a nice round of applause.
Hey, that was a Class 4 Senior Showmanship. Coming back for the finals, Lucinda Mayers, Ethan Baumberger, Sissany Sissany Crow. Should be 11 coming back for the senior, the sheep showmanship. We're right in the middle, right in the heated things in the intermediate showmanship right now. Oh, that means like junior goat showman should be lining up outside the ring. Junior goat and intermediate sheep showmanship. That first heat of intermediate sheep showmanship should be lining up outside the ring. Finals of the senior are walking in as we are speaking. We're going to end up with that Cheyenne 2 in the intermediate goat showmanship. Same way, senior sheep showmanship's going on right now. Senior sheep.
Four heats of intermediate showmanship, and man, they come down to 9 absolutely stellar individuals that made the cut, made the call back, and ultimately made the drive out here. And so I think when we get down to our final 5, I think it gets incredibly, incredibly challenging. I will tell you guys, and being transparent with you, when I got down to my final 4, maybe the goats started acting up a little bit differently. We got a little bit overstretched. We had one wanting to pull back. We had one not wanting to engage at a brace. Then we had one kind of wanting to jump around on us a little bit. And so again, I want to commend the kids. Ultimately, I think that's because these goats have had a very, very nice day. I think these goats have been up for a very, very long time. But ultimately, I think it was how you mitigated that, how you still showed your animal off that ultimately sorted the final 4. Again, in no particular order for the Cheyenne 2, young man right here, your goat has been giving you just a little bit of a fit right there. But when I came in your heat, that was the best moving goat that corresponded with you perfectly as you maneuvered the ring. That goat pushes, embraces, and drives. Your presentation, hydration are all absolutely fantastic. And then you have mitigated that goat being a little bit of a knothead and come out here and shown the absolute wheels off of that thing. I think it is you've done a very, very good job, something to be commended on. Young lady right here, talk about absolutely incredible presentation. You've come out here and you've been so smooth and so calm and collected. And maybe, in your heat, you didn't just hit me right out of the gate, but it's so hard to miss you when you are so just absolutely spot on in terms of your feet and leg placement. You get that goat to push, embrace, and drive and elevate into you. Congratulations to you. Very, very good showman. Young man right here, again, I think you do an absolutely fantastic job of elevating that thing's front end through the front end out of the top side of its skeleton. You get that goat to push, embrace, and drive. As we got back over there, and I really thought you were going to be my champion, that goat wanted to lean back on us a little bit. That goat wanted to kick its front feet up. That goat ultimately just made you, didn't want to work with you in the same regard there at the end. But that's nothing to put your chin down on. You've done an absolutely fantastic job this entire time. Same story here, young man. Again, presentation and getting that goat out here and pushing, embracing, and driving has been absolutely awesome. We got over on that side of things. That goat naturally wanted to start overstretching on you just a little bit, wanted to get a little discombobulated in terms of his spine, but you did an awesome job of getting that goat to elevate and push up in you. I thought you did a great job. Young lady, I've been anticipating you coming back into showmanship because I saw you in your class and I thought, wow, that young lady has done just an absolutely incredible job of showing the wheels off of a goat that's probably just a little bit more naturally challenging to show. That goat wants to hunker on you. You get that goat to push and drive and elevate. Ultimately, as the drive kind of wore on, that goat wanted to maybe just hunker in terms of his shoulder a little bit, but you've done a tremendous job of getting that goat to push and elevate towards you. Young man right here, again, I thought from our forerib back, we were in big-time contention. Rear foot placement, spine mitigation, and then getting that goat to push and drive was absolutely awesome. Longer we went, the more front foot placement maybe just got a little bit out of whack. Same story for you, young man. I thought we did a great job in terms of our rear foot placement. You did an incredible job in terms of our hand utilization. Your body positioning is awesome on that goat. That goat will want to get just a little tiptoey in terms of its offside front foot, want to swing it up on you. Just pop those front feet forward, and I think we're cooking with grease. Young lady right here, maybe the hardest goat to show of the entire drive out here. That goat naturally wants to keep his head down and kind of buckle over in terms of his knee. With that being said, I thought from his forerib back, you managed him perfectly. The longer that goat wanted to be out here, the more he kind of wanted to triangle in terms of his front skeleton. But man, I thought you did an absolutely awesome job of sticking with it. Hats off to you. Young man right here, I thought your smoothness and your finesse is what got you here, and I appreciated that again out here. That goat maybe we just wanted to overstretch on you a little bit, but absolutely fantastic group of showmen. Congratulate them all with a big round of applause. Very, very good job.
Wow, that was great intermediate showmanship. Way to put your hands together because that was a really good drive. Intermediate showmanship in the goat show. Cheyenne 2, Brooklyn Jartowski. Dayton Mordvart. Yeah, you're our Cheyenne too. We're going to go after that with jackets. Kason Lane Newell, Cole Spurlock, and Sophie Romriel. That was a great intermediate. Junior showmanship. The ring is yours. We're still right in the middle of that senior showmanship, the finals. Senior showmanship in the sheep show. Senior showmanship. Be lining up intermediates. Class number 5. Be lining up makeup area. Class 8 junior showmanship. The makeup area is yours. Class 8 junior showmanship. Makeup area, please. Mr. Evan McLean's doing the sheep showmanship for us today. Boy, he's got his work cut out in this senior division. There's, from my advantage up here, a lot of great showmen out there. So good luck to each and every one of you.
Fantastic group of juniors to get us kicked off in our first heat. And with that, I think as the age divisions continue to get younger, I actually think they become more challenging because it becomes harder to differentiate between the quality showmen. And especially here, the youth here have just done an absolutely incredible job. Young man right here up front's about as close to moving over there as any of them. I think we're maybe just a little overstretched, and I thought we maybe got a little deviated there in terms of our top line. But young man, your intensity, your body body positioning, your push and brace on that goat are absolutely awesome. Young man, you've done an absolutely fantastic job. Congratulations to you. Young lady right here, again, rear foot positioning, spine management I've been absolutely awesome. Our rear front feet are just a little bit off for myself. I think at times we maybe want to just get a little bit crowded on that goat's front end. I think we can let that goat out, pop her forward, and then reposition and get back in and be just a bit more successful there. Young lady right here, again, I like the way that we show off on that chain. I like our body positioning. That goat wants to rise up there in terms of her spine. I think we need to manage that as if we're going to continue, but a very, very nice job. Young lady right here, similar story to the young lady ahead of you. I like the way that we show off on the side of with a more of a breeding goat style of showmanship. I think it's really unique. And then with that, I think you've actually done a better job of spine mitigation. That goat's front feet are just a little bit far forward and her rear feet are just a little bit far back. It's causing her to overstretch a little bit and deviate there out of the backside of her blade. Young lady right here, again, I thought you've done an awesome job of eye contact and ring understanding. I think you've done a great job of elevating that thing through the front third of its skeleton. Again, kind of like a similar story. Our front feet are just a little bit far forward, and then our back feet will get just a little bit offset. I think if we took that goat in a loop and then restarted, I think we'd be very, very good as well. Young lady right here, talk about just incredible hair, talk about incredible presentation. That young lady does a great job of getting that goat to elevate her head and neck. Unfortunately, that goat's not wanting to work with you in the same regard, wanting to be just a little bit of a knot head, wanting to not stay in line as much. And so ultimately, I hope that one day that goat wants to work with you in the same regard because you are a very, very good showman. Young man right here, kind of a calm, collected young man that just comes out here and gets it done. I mean, just an absolutely awesome job of maneuvering around the ring. Maybe not as much push, embrace, and drive, but I would tell you, just take this part of your leg and really get that goat to push into you. But I thought you've done an awesome job of showing off the quality of your goat there from the side, so congrats to you. Young lady, again, we talk about getting push, embrace, and drive. That's where I think a lot of people can learn from you because you got your leg positioning that thing's breastplate appropriately, and that thing is rocking and rolling in towards you. Our rear feet are just a little overstretched for me. We need to couple that goat up just a little bit more. We'll move over onto this side of things. Great way to get our junior division kicked off. Give them a big round of applause on a tremendous job.
Hey, coming back, Class 7 Junior Showmanship. Hubert Richardson, Brock Martved, Caitlin Meckelberg. Class 8 Junior Showmanship in the ring, please. Hey, what a better day to celebrate being at a livestock show. It's a great honor to be able to do that with all of us, but stop by the Pine Bluff Distilling booth over there. Great sponsors with us. They've been with us every year. They don't ever falter. It's unreal the amount of effort they go to help us out. Stop by Pine Bluff Distilling booth over there. Great sponsors for the Cheyenne Livestock Expo. Hey, Class 9 Junior Showmanship in the goat side. Makeup area, please. Class 9 Junior Goat Showmanship. We're getting ready for the top 5 in the senior showmanship on the sheep side and the all-coveted Cheyenne 2. Junior Goat Showmanship, Corbin Hennigan. Pleased to make it very pleased. Corbin Hennigan. We're in Class 8 Junior Showmanship right now, Class 9's makeup area, and we're selecting that all-coveted Cheyenne 2 on the Senior Sheep Showmanship.
Two powerful, high-quality showmen sort their way up in our second heat of junior showmanship. But again, a very, very deep, very, very high-quality heat. Man, I'm very, very proud of these kids. Young lady up front, again, as we go through them, I thought you did an awesome job of maneuvering the ring with your goat. I can tell that you spent a lot of time at home. I can tell that you spent a lot of hours with that animal. And so that's what I think this whole event is truly about, is getting kids involved in the agriculture industry, getting kids involved with livestock. I can tell that this event is paid off for you in a very good way. Again, maybe we're just a little off in terms of our foot placement down low. Maybe that goat wants to hunker down on us ever so slightly, but I thought you've done a tremendous job maneuvering the ring. Young lady right here, I like our eye contact. I like how alert we are in the ring. I like the way that we get our rear foot placement and our spine placement very, very good. I think I'd say you're probably just as close to being on that side of things as any of them. To me, we're just a little bit off-centered in terms of where we're at in our line. I thought at times our goat doesn't want to push in the same regard, but again, you keep going home, you keep working on that foot placement that same way. I think you've done an absolutely tremendous job. Young lady right here, again, I think we've done a great job, and you're kind of scratching your goat's chin right now, and that goat's not moving at all. I think that's really unique. That goat is broke to you. That goat, again, from the time and the effort that you guys have put into it, unfortunately, that goat's not really pushing or driving, just kind of standing there. But again, I think you've done a very, very nice job. Young lady on the contrary right here, we got a big push, and we got a big drive with the young lady in the stripes right here. Unfortunately, that goat wants to drive up there in terms of its spine. We need to mitigate its spine, and then we would be just a little bit better. And then we think we'd probably get our pull over here. But that kind of push and that kind of brace and that kind of drive is absolutely awesome. Young lady right here, again, I thought we've done a great job with our hand placement. We have that goat's head and neck elevated the way that it needs to. And then with that, our spine, it lays into us. We're flat back. We're a little overstretched for me. I think we couple that goat up, and I think we've done a very, very nice job. My guy right here is as intense as they come. He has come in here and he's had the eye of the tiger. He's had his game face on the entire time. With that, I love the way that we're doing it right now. Man, I think if we'd have done that, about a minute ago or 2 minutes ago, you'd definitely be getting the pull because it looks absolutely awesome right now. That goat is driving up and elevating, and feet and legs are right. Our feet and legs were just a little bit off when I caught you, but man, you go home, you keep working on that, and the next time I judge you, I'll make sure to pull you. I thought you did that is absolutely awesome right there. Young lady right here comes in. Front feet are set the way they need to. Head and neck are up. And those are all things that I like, things that catch my attention. We're a little offset in terms of our rear foot placement. That goat kind of wants to drive down on us, okay? You're already kind of a little bit taller than that goat, so we're going to have to make sure we get lower and get this part of our leg and that thing's breastplate. But you've done an absolutely awesome job. Young lady right here, again, that goat wanted to maybe run around in a circle on you initially. You caught that goat. You showed him who was boss, and then you got that goat presented incredibly, incredibly well. Okay, so I want to applaud you for just keeping with it. Congratulate these guys with a big round of applause. Great job.
Well, that took a minute. These kids are pretty good. I told all these kids sitting along the rail, I feel bad because they were getting pulled for pretty minor things, or sheep not wanting to maybe act right, or just catching the wrong view. But this is good, guys. And if you're sitting ringside and you don't think it is, probably just need to leave the building and find a new hobby and go buy a boat or something. I feel like I've been fortunate enough to judge some really high caliber showmanships. And just to be frank and honest with you guys, this right here will be the deepest and toughest one from top to bottom that I've had the opportunity to judge. And I guess we'll do the Cheyenne too, but I'll tell you how I like them. I'm going to talk about each one in no particular order. And then I'll tell you which one's my favorite. But again, both of them will get a buckle, but I think both of them are deserving of it. Young man up front here with the blue sheep, bang up job, buddy. Just not a whole lot you do wrong, right? Everything is there in terms of the basics and the mechanics, and I'm pretty sure that's the first time she's probably moved a foot the whole time we've been out here. Wickedly good job. Young lady right here, her intensity, just her will, her work ethic is really, really good. She's maybe just a nickel more challenging to show. She maybe has to have just a little bit more from a mechanic standpoint, but I think she does it to a very, very high degree. Everything is really, really good. If I'm going to get critical at times, you'll get his front feet just a little out from underneath of him, but I think it fits on that particular sheep. Everything rolls the way it needs to. Young man up front with the blue sheep, he'll be your champion. Young lady there in the red will be reserved. As we roll on down here into our top five, the young lady in third was one that I thought does an incredible job. To me, again, just really not a lot of things that she does wrong. I think at the end of the day, I'd let her show one for me any day of the week because I think her whereabouts within the ring is very, very good, and yet she is just so smooth and so agile, and yet still comes with intensity. For me, I wish we could just rock his head and neck back just a little bit. If we can roll his head and neck back just a little bit more, then I think you're sitting over there because I think everything else you do is very, very, very good. A young lady is going to sit here in fourth, another showman. Does an absolutely incredible job just in terms of her body positioning, her hand placement. I wish we could get his nose maybe just a little bit more level. And then I thought the longer we worked him, and I know it's critical, maybe you just had to get a little bit more motion with you and your particular sheep. You probably just got tired, wanted to act up a little bit, but they do a very, very good job. Young man here with the blue ewe, incredible job again. Showman that I really like. He gets a lot out of this particular ewe. Really like him in terms of his intensity and his eye contact. For me, I thought that, there's times we get real, real good views. I thought as we kind of worked down, when there was about 5 or 6 of them left, that sheep just want to get just a little too stretched out. She'd get just a little weak in her spine. Again, I told these kids on down the line, this is tough and this is really good. I told them, man, it's small, minute things, but you throw a different guy out here, I'm sure things will shake out just a little bit different. If you guys would, not only these exhibitors that are still out here, but everybody that exhibited in senior showmanship, give them a real nice round of applause. These kids deserve it. They did an awesome job.
Awesome job, senior sheep showmanship. We know the livestock industry is in great shape when we got young kids coming up through the system like that. Congratulations. Cheyenne 2, Cooper Maxwell, Ellie Carvis, congratulations. Bella Camel comes in next. Cecily Crows, 4th. Taven Dubin, 5th. Great set of senior showmen. Intermediate showmanship, class number 5, the ring's yours.
Another real good heat, junior showmanship, and 2 young ladies that soared up in my mind just due to speed and efficiency and extra finesse. Again, I'm going to go through and let you guys know my thought process. I thought this, again, was a very, very good heat. Young lady right here, we're so close because our foot placement down low and our ability to stand in front of that goat without that goat moving are absolutely awesome. Unfortunately, that goat will naturally want to just dry up down in terms of its shoulder. That'll cause it to deviate out of the back of its blade. We get that goat to push, embrace, and drive, and then ultimately I think we very quickly move our way over into here because your understanding of the ring, your eye contact, your utilization of the ring as well was very, very good. Congratulations to you. Young lady right here, great push, great brace, great drive. A little over-braced in my mind and maybe just wants to kick its front feet a little bit forward, a little offset. But man, I thought from that thing's full rib back, we've done a tremendous job of managing that thing's spine, and the rear foot placement was very, very good as well. Young lady right here takes a goat who's maybe just a little bit harder headed and then gets out here and shows the wheels off of it. I thought just a tremendous job in terms of rear foot placement. I think you've done a great job in terms of making sure that goat's head and neck are up. Maybe at times that goat will want to just drive downhill a little bit on you. Maybe at times that goat will want to rise up just a little bit in the middle part of her back. You keep working on that because I think you've done just an absolutely awesome job. You've taken control and shown that goat who's boss. You've done a very, very nice job. Young man right here, again, the goat maneuvers incredibly, incredibly well with him. And then he's so calm and so smooth and the ability ability to get that goat set up, which is something that I always like to tip my hat to, because I naturally am a person who's maybe just a little bit more high stress. I maybe get a little bit more jittery. So for you to remain that calm and that cool and that collected at your age, I think is absolutely awesome. I think we need to get this part of our leg into that goat's breastplate. I think that'll allow us that goat to push, and that goat will stop dancing around on us a little bit. But I think you've done a very, very nice job. Young lady right here, great push and great brace and great drive. Like the young lady up there, that goat will want to overdrive just a little bit and get its front feet just a little bit underneath of itself. Take that goat's head, shake that goat's head out, and then get back into that goat. And sometimes it'll take a couple times, because ultimately that goat will either want to overdrive and hunker, or maybe that goat will want to overstretch from me. But you've done a very, very nice job. Congratulations to you. Young lady right here, I think you've done a great job maneuvering that goat around the ring. That thing's skin and hair and presentation are absolutely awesome. Ultimately, I think we're just a little offset off either end of our skeleton, get square, and we get moving over there, okay? Very, very nice job. This young man has done a great job with this goat all day, and again, I think you're very, very close to moving over here. Every time I looked over here, I was always in awe. Your spine and utilization and the way you got that thing's head and neck up were absolutely awesome. Ultimately, we were either just a little bit overstretched, or maybe our front feet were just a little bit off. Continue to work at home, and I think you will be a dominant force to be reckoned with. Congratulations to this group. Again, I'm very, very impressed.
Hey, there's that last class number 9, junior showmanship, coming back to the finals. Peyton Gould, Tinley Becker. We're going to have finals of junior showmanship right now. My record says there's going to be 7 coming back.
Good way to get things kicked off here in our next division, the showmanship. Another awesome group of kids. Young lady up front in the orange, I thought close call. Good body posture, feet are where they need to be. Just want to relax that one and manage where his head and his nose are at. Young lady here coming next. She's got the advantage of keeping that thing's head and neck where that one needs to be. For me, I thought maybe just feet placement got off just a little bit. Young lady here coming next. Awesome job in terms of her body posture and her hand placement. Just want to manage that one where he's at in terms of some feet placement. He wants to get just a little off in terms of front feet and close up just a little bit there behind. Young lady here coming next has got, again, good body posture, good hand placement, got the mechanics down. She gets a lot out of that particular sheep in terms of drive and in terms of brace. Again, just some feet placement things. We'll just get offset in terms of front feet and need to manage where her back feet sits. Again, another young lady does an awesome job. I think the basics and the mechanics are really, really good. Just want to relax that one in terms of where his or her head, neck, and nose sit, and then I think that we can go ahead and make you a full young lady here with the Dorset. Good job. Wish we could get his head and neck up just a little bit more, but again, everything else is very, very good. Young man here coming next is good in terms of feet placement. I wish he could bring his body maybe around just a little bit more. I think it'll look just a shout more comfortable on that particular sheep. I thought the young lady right here was a real, real close call. I think everything she does is really good. She'll want to get his head and neck rocked just a little too far forward for me. If we can manage that and get his nose more to 90, then I think no-brainer, because that was a real, real close call. If you guys would, give all these kids a very, very nice round of applause. Excited to get into our next division.
Class 5 intermediate showmanship, coming back for the finals. Taya Winden, Michaela Curtis. Right in the middle of this junior showmanship finals, we've got Hubert Richardson out there, Brock Mortved, Caitlin Meckelberg, Baylor Johnson, Jaylee Joy, Peyton Gould, Tanley Becker. Cheyenne 2's going to come out of there, and then it's 5 jackets. Class 6 intermediate sheep showmanship. Who do we need here?
Lack and Rookstool.
Lack and Rookstool, you going to come into Class 6 intermediate showmanship? Junior showmanship on the goat side. Baylor Hubbard to make up area, please. Pre-junior showmanship. Baylor, please. Hey, if you're going to take home one of these jackets, the coveted Cheyenne jackets, you got to turn those green cards into Pam at the office. Turn them into her, and so that way we'll get you the correct size.
Yep, I can take that. Thank you.
Lake and Rookstool and the intermediate showmanship. Your class is going in the ring. Lake and hustle up. Class 7, intermediate sheep showmanship. Makeup area, please. Class 7. Pre-junior showmanship, goat show. Makeup area, please.
Junior showmanship has been one of the tougher divisional drives, and ultimately, I said it in intermediate showmanship. I thought that drive was tough because the goats maybe wanted to get just a little bit more antsy on them out here. I think the top three out here are pretty negotiable in my mind. I think you have to have a personal preference, and the two young men on this side of things, they're quick, they're speedy, they're efficient, and ultimately, I thought they were just a little bit better in terms of making sure their front foot placement was correct. I thought they were extra speedy there at the end as well. Again, in no particular order, young man in the stripes. I thought, just came out here with an absolutely intense, absolute killer mentality almost, because that goat pushes and braces and drives and never moves. That goat has never moved a singular inch. That goat runs directly uphill. You've positioned that goat's head and neck perfectly atop of its shoulder. That goat has worked with you in absolute perfection. That's pretty utopian kind of showmanship right there, if you ask me. Young man that comes out here in two, talk about getting one fired up on movement. That goat moves and maneuvers with you as good as any of the goats out here or any of the goats that we've seen so far. That goat is presented to the absolute nines, and then your push, embrace, and drive are absolutely awesome. What I thought was the coolest thing about you were the most efficient and quickest to get your goat set up. And then ultimately, when maybe a couple other goats on down the line were maybe moving around, you remain just very, very consistent kind of a showman. Again, hats off to you. Congratulations. Young lady right here, talk about intensity, talk about eye contact, talk about understanding of the ring. I thought in your class you absolutely mollywopped them. I thought you came out here and you put on an absolute clinic in terms of what goat showmanship was supposed to look like. We got back out here in the drive, and maybe our rear feet got just a little bit offset. Maybe our front feet just got a little bit offset. I was able to get just a little bit more nitpicky on you. But young lady, you are a force to be reckoned with, and don't you forget that. That is good goat showmanship right there. A very, very high caliber showman. Young lady right here, nothing to take away from you. You are a basic, fundamental kind of a showman that takes things to the extras. Incredible push, embrace, and drive. Awesome in terms of our foot placement down low. As the drive wore on, that goat wanted to drive down with the base of its shoulder just a little bit more than my preferred liking. I thought that goat wanted to deviate in terms of its spine ever so slightly. Two incredibly nitpicky things. Young lady, you're a very, very good showman. I was actually really pleasantly surprised when you came back out here and you got a showmanship pull, because I remember you in your classes and I kept thinking that young lady is a very, very good showman. And you kept bringing out goats that were nice built. You kept bringing out goats that probably need a little bit more punch. And I thought, I hope she's able to show those goats just as good as she did in the market show. And man, you did. Foot and leg placement was incredible. Spine management was absolutely awesome. You are intense. You are powerful. And I thought that was absolutely awesome. The longer the drive wore on, maybe our goat wanted to rock forward on us just a little bit. Maybe we needed to pop that goat's front feet forward. But I thought you've done just an absolutely incredible job. Young man right here, a basic kind of a showman who's just done a great job all day. Again, I thought push, brace, and drive was awesome. Got a little stretched for me. Young lady, I thought you've done a great job again all day. Just keeping that goat's flat and that goat's back flat, keeping his head up and keeping front feet where they need to be. Rear feet got just a little discombobulated towards the end. Congratulate those exhibitors with a big round of applause. Absolutely awesome set of junior showmen.
Another really good heat over here, and I thought a young lady here up front, when we get this thing right here, it's a no-brainer and a close pull for me, because I think when you get this sheep stuck and get him right, it's very, very good. Why you don't get the pull is his attitude. He kind of wants to fight and fuss with you. Takes you a little longer to get to this particular point. So if we can manage those things and get to there, then I think it's a no-brainer, a really easy pull. Young man here coming next, another one that I thought was a close pull. I think the basics that he does are really good. His body posture, his hand placement's awesome. For me, I wish we could relax her nose, and at times she just want to get just a little off in terms of her front feet placement, but that does a very, very nice job. Young man in the black shirt here, again, I think another showman does a really good job. Again, feet placement and small minor things are what gets him in trouble. That sheep probably just didn't want to show the best for him and just gets just a little off. We need to manage him in terms of his spine quality, but again, a real good job. I thought another showman that does a lot of really, really good things. As a young man here that comes next, you get the most out of this particular Blue U in terms of drive and in terms of brace. I like those things. For me, I think if we could relax her in terms of her head and neck just a little bit, it looks like you're just kind of wanting to rip it out of her. If we can just relax that, relax her head and neck, everything else in terms of positioning of your body, in terms of your ability to get that one to drive and brace and run uphill are very, very good. Young lady here coming next is a calm, cool, collective showman. Just one that I wish we could rock. That one's head and neck back, and I wish we could maybe just get down and get that sheep to drive and launch just down in terms of his hind leg, but a very nice job. Young lady here coming next, another showman in terms of getting that thing to drive and brace and run uphill. Really, really good. Need to rock his head and neck back and manage him in terms of feet placement. I thought another close pull is young lady down here in the purple. That does a very, very nice job in terms of her body posture, getting the most out of this particular sheep. Just want to relax him in terms of where his nose is at and then open him up in terms of his front feet. I want to get him just a little too close together. If you guys would, give all those kids a really nice round of applause.
Class 6 Intermediate Showmanship. Paisley Eddington, you're coming back. Hazy Johnson, you're coming back. Hallie Cothran, you're coming back. Hey, we had some junior showmanship finals while we were gone. Awesome set of junior finals. Goat showmanship. Cheyenne 2, Baylor Johnson, Brock Mortved. Then we got some jacket winners. Tinley Becker, Caitlin Meckelberg, and Peyton Gould. You're going to finish yet. Yeah, we're on the all-important pre-junior showmanship on the goat side here. And if you guys remember, the senior showmen all got the Cheyenne 2 buckles. They got jackets. So did the juniors. So did the intermediate. These pre-junior showmen get exactly the same, but their buckles are going to look a lot bigger when they put them on. So this is really important class. 2 awesome buckles that I'd love to win, and I'm really excited that 2 of you are going to go home with buckles. So good luck, try hard. Cheyenne 2 coming up, pre-junior goat showmanship. Deep side, Class 7, intermediate showmanships in Class 8, the makeup area is yours. Class 8, intermediate showmanship. Be ready, please. You know, we got a few bets going on here at the announcer stand, but there's not anybody betting on the other side of this deal. But we're all kind of betting that whoever carries a belt buckle out of this ring, when they walk through that gate over there, they're going to be smiling to mom or dad or brother or sister about the buckle they just won. So the bet is those kids are going to be all smilers when they carry that buckle out of the ring. Hey, I tell you what, Nate's had a lot of pressure on him all day long, but yeah, just look at him. He's stewing and fretting, trying to figure this deal out. Awesome pre-junior showman. Nice to have all you kids come show with us on the goat side.
A pretty wicked heat over here on the sheep side, and gonna bring back 4, and I still think that there's still a few close calls here along the rail. Young man up front, you got a high end kind of a sheep, and I like him. You're a close call. You do things really, really well. Again, just get nitpicky. I think you're probably just a little too upright. Want to wrap your body more around the front side of that particular sheep. And then relax his nose and his neck. You want to kind of lean with that particular sheep. And so we can roll your body around the front side, relax it, and then relax him in terms of his head and neck. I think you're a no-brainer and a pull for me. Young lady here with the blue sheep, another one that I think is another really, really close pull in my mind. I think her body posture and her hand placement's really good. I wish we could relax him in terms of his nose and getting real critical. His feet will get off just a little bit, but I think a very, very good showman. Young lady that's going to go ahead ahead and come here next. Another showman, I think, does a tremendous job in terms of body posture and hand placement. Does a lot of work to try to get this sheep to drive and run uphill. I just wish, again, we could relax him in terms of his nose, get it more down at a 90, and then we'll get those front feet maybe just a little close together. But I think a really nice job. The young man here at the blue sheep, he's kind of wanting to give him some fits and act up. When he gets him there, it's real good. Up front, he's just where I want him to be in terms of that sheep's head and neck and where he positions and places it. His body posture is really good. Just got to be a little quicker to the draw, manage where his rear feet are at, and then I think a no-brainer. And again, how to go ahead and make the pull. Young lady here with the downer, again, incredible job in terms of body posture and hand placement. Just gets a little too weak right there in terms of his spine, and so we manage that, keep his spine held together. Then I think another showman that she can go ahead and make the pull. Young lady here with the white sheep, again, really good job. Just need to relax where he's at or hers at in terms of her head and neck, square her up in terms of rear feet and front feet. But again, awesome job. Really excited to keep working through this division. If you guys would, give these kids a real nice round of applause. They're working real hard.
Before I get to talking about our novice showman over here on this side of things, this is my last class of the day. And so, again, I want to thank the Cheyenne Livestock Expo for allowing me the opportunity to come out here and sort stock. I want to thank you all who drug stock to me. It's been an absolutely incredible day. The stock and the kids have been absolutely fantastic. And so, again, thank you so much for having me. What's kind of cool about Evan and I is we both hail from the same alma mater, or at least for senior college, which is Western Illinois University. And we spent a lot of time in the van talking about what good stock looked like. We spent a lot of time in the van, pondering how would we sort stock shows one day. We did not spend a whole lot of time talking about one of the hardest things to sort, which is the pre-junior or the novice showmanship. I mean, it is absolutely tough. Like he said, this has probably been one of my more challenging decisions today because I want them all to do incredibly good. I want them all to win. The two young ladies right here are my favorite. They do an incredible job in terms of just foot and leg placement, in terms of ring understanding, push, embrace, and drive. This young lady right here, super calm, super collected. That young lady right there, super intense and super powerful. And so, again, congratulations to you. You are the Cheyenne 2 young lady right here. Great push, great brace, great drive. I thought you did an awesome job of keeping that goat's head and neck up. Young lady right here is powerful and intense and so good in terms of her eye contact. Young lady right here has had a blast all day. I gave her a thumbs up earlier. She came back out here and gave me the thumbs up back, and then comes out here and does an awesome job of managing the rear third of that thing's skeleton. Young lady up front said, man, that goat's pretty big for me. I said, yeah, but you're doing an awesome job getting that one shown. And she has continued to show the wheels off of it. She's got an older sister, and then she enjoys showing livestock with her. That's what this is all about, and she's done an absolutely awesome job. Young lady right here is great eye contact, awesome job getting that thing's head, neck, and ears up. The young man right here has done a great job of maintaining that one's spine. Young lady right here came out here and showed a big shaped goat earlier. She's back out here doing a great job again. Young lady right here came out here, and that goat maneuvered perfectly with her. I can tell you've been working at home. Young man right here, again, just a solid stud of a showman. So again, I know I've asked for a lot of applause throughout the day. I'm going to ask for the biggest applause right now. Give these young people a big round. It's been absolutely awesome sorting the stock show.
Thanks a lot today, Nate, for the goat show. We do appreciate that. Hey, just as an honor, hey, goat people, nice job. Appreciate the way you work. I appreciate the young children or showmen today. Let's put your hands together for all the goat showmen today.
Attention in the barn. We need vehicles moved from the east end of the building. There's one right outside the big door, garage door. There is no way for people to get through out there if you don't. We need to move your vehicles.
Pre-junior showmanship, Cheyenne 2, Tessa Henderson, Baylor Hubbard. Then we'll go to Tylee Johnson, jacket winner. Eden Horrocks, jacket winner. There we go, fifth. I miss you, Atlee. Atlee Weber, you were fifth. Jacket winner, pre-junior showmanship. Congratulations.
Another awesome heat here, and again, I think just tremendous in terms of the depth of quality of showmen that continue to come. Young man up front does an awesome job getting low, getting this sheep to drive and brace and run uphill. I wish we could rock his head and neck back just a little bit more time, so I want to get just a little high there in his back, and so manage those things. But in terms of getting low and getting this sheep to do what he needs to do, and that's to drive and go and run uphill, I think the young man does a really, really nice job of that. Young lady here coming next, another showman, real good job in terms of just getting a lot of extra drive and brace out of this particular sheep. Wants to roll his front feet underneath of him just a little bit so we can rock his head and neck back, keep him from rolling his feet up from underneath of him. Then I think that we can go ahead and make you a pull. Young lady here coming next, I thought another showman was a close pull, body posture, hand placement, feet are exactly where they need to be for me. I think we'll drive that sheep a little hard. They want to work his front feet up underneath of himself just a little bit, and so that's what gets you in trouble. Young lady here coming next, again, in terms of getting low, getting this thing to do what she needs to do, I think a real nice job. Relax that one in terms of her nose, square her up in terms of her hind feet. Young lady right here is another one that I thought was a really, really close pull and call. Her body posture, her hand placement, absolutely awesome. Her eye contact and intensity is where it needs to be for me. That sheep's a little moderate, and I get that he's probably just a little harder to show, but if we can just get just a shot lower, get just a shot more out of that particular sheep, then I think, again, no brainer. Thought she was a tight and close pull. Young lady here with the blue sheep gets that one to drive and run right uphill like it needs to be. Body posture is good. Just need to manage him in terms of where some feet placements are at, manage him in terms of where his spine sits. Young man here that's going to go ahead and round out here. Again, awesome job in terms of his body posture. Want to relax that sheep in terms of his head and his neck. But an awesome group. If you guys would, give him a nice round of applause.
Michaela Morris and Carter Watson. Michaela Morris and Carter Watson, you guys need to make your way over to the holding area. Your class is entering the ring. Coming back from Class 8 Intermediate Sheep Showmanship was Lindy Fillingham, Addie Cortez, and Clancy Conklin. All right, in the ring now, on the sheep side, we have Class 9 Intermediate Showmanship, which means I need all of our finalists from our classes in Intermediate Division to be making your way to the check-in area. If you were a finalist in the Intermediate Division, please be making your way up to the check-in area. Want to take a second to remind everyone that we have Pine Bluffs Distilling with us here. If you are thirsty, it's been kind of a long day, they're serving up some pretty good drinks over there for those parents that are ready to sit back and relax while the kids do the chores. So make sure you make your way over to Pine Bluff Distilling. They've been a big-time sponsor for us since day one of the Cheyenne Livestock Expo, so really happy and excited to have them here with us again this year.
Our final heat for this particular division, and really excited to get back into another really heated battle. Young lady here up front does a real good job. Her body posture, intensity, really good. For me, she's front feet will roll up underneath of him, or her just a little bit, but I think at the end of the day, she's a close pull, just really small and minor things. Young man here that's coming next, another showman, does a real nice job. Want to get that sheep to drive and run uphill just a little bit more, get his head and neck there to the top side of his blade just a shot better, and then you can go ahead and make the pull. I think everything else you do is real good. Young man right here, just want to wrap your body more on the front side of that sheep, relax that sheep in terms of his neck and his head, but again, real nice job. Really good in terms of intensity and drive and brace. So the young lady coming next, again, similar story. Just want to relax that one down in terms of his head, neck, and nose, square that one up in terms of hind leg. Young lady here coming next, got a really high quality sheep. She does a good job in terms of body posture and positioning. You'll get him to drive a little too hard. He'll get just a little lackadaisical in terms of his spine, roll his front feet underneath of him, but you got a nice high quality sheep and you're a close pull. Young lady here coming next, real good job in terms of keeping that sheep's head, neck, and nose where I want to be. I want to wrap your body more around the front side, square him up in terms of where his feet hit the surface. Real interesting and high quality sheep. The young lady showing right here, I think one that looks like he can have a pretty good day come tomorrow. For me, when you get him where you need to, it's really good. You were a close pull. You're just not as quick to the draw as the three people I went ahead and pulled, but I like your sheep. When you do get him right, you do a real nice job. Another really good showman right here. Again, body posture, hand placement, absolutely awesome. Want to get that sheep's head, neck, and nose in a more appropriate angle, square him up in terms of where his front feet are hitting the surface. But again, awesome group. If you guys would, give him a nice round of applause. Excited to get into this next drive. Hope you're all right.
top 5 market goat exhibitors and top 5 ewe exhibitors. You guys can go to the office and pick up your checks. Again, top 5 market goat exhibitors and top 5 ewe exhibitors. You guys can head to the office and pick up your checks. All right, coming back from Class 9 Intermediate Showmanship is Jillian Muntz, Brecken Nelson, and Carter Watson. Now in the ring, we have our final drive of our Intermediate Showman. We'll select a top 5. All 5 will get jackets. And then we will select our Cheyenne 2, which is our top 2 exhibitors. Those 2 exhibitors will be receiving buckles. We need our first heat of juniors to start making your way up to the sheep check-in. That's Class 10 Junior Showmanship. We need our first heat of juniors to start making your way to the check-in area. Well, like we've mentioned before, each division has a Cheyenne 2 that's represented and they receive a buckle. Those buckles would not be possible without our buckle sponsors. We'd like to thank the Wilson family, Bill Panel family, Sandy Vetter, Grow Business Solutions, Wheatland Country Store, West Brother Livestock, Wills Farms, Courtney Wills, Hollingsworth Angus Ranch, Morgan County Summer Showdown, Mossy Oak Properties, Sidwell Club Lambs, Flock Fertility Services, Rookstool Show Cattle, Crago Livestock, Wardell Cattle, Outlaw Hamps, Price Cattle, Smartlick, Wyoming Tallow, Kevin Kisicki family, Heather Bailey, and Levi Clark. If we could give a hand to all of those buckle sponsors, they're beautiful buckles. Chanley Crow, we need you to the check-in area. Chanley Crow, we need you to the check-in area for your junior showmanship heat. I missed one of our buckle sponsors. Elliott Consulting is also a sponsor of those buckles, so I appreciate them being a part of that sponsorship as well. If I could have Brandon or Erica Pageant come up to the announcer's table. Brandon or Erica Pageant, come up to the announcer's table. I've got a little girl that would love to see you.
another awesome division, and this will be our Cheyenne too. I think these two young ladies do an absolutely incredible job. Young lady up front with the blue sheep. I think initial impression as soon as she hits the gate is ultra good, and then she gets that thing stuck and parked, and you don't move, and that's what I want. Keeps that thing's head and neck and nose right where it needs to be. Awesome in motion, awesome in terms of her body posture. I think does an absolutely incredible job. This young lady here, her intensity and just eye contact is very, very good. She gets the most out of this particular sheep in terms of just drive and brace. She gets down, gets this thing to run uphill. I love her mannerisms and her motions. She gets that sheep set up in the same time and the same way each time. Manages that one in terms of where her spine needs to be each and every time. I thought both those young ladies are very, very deserving. If you guys would give them a real nice round of applause. I think that it can get really, really close and tight-knit. And this young lady here in third, I remember her bringing some sheep and showing them early on here today, and thought she was definitely going to be a contender if she showed them and managed them the way she did in that particular ring in motion. It is absolutely poetry, young lady. I'd put money on it that you could let that thing go right next to you, and that sheep would keep its head and neck right where it needs to be, and you could walk around the ring without your hands on it. And that just takes a tremendous amount of time, effort, and practice at home, and so it's tough. I think it was really, really close for you to get over there. I thought in relation maybe to the two young ladies ahead of you, maybe we just don't manage that one's head just perfect. We'll get just a little more fidgety there on that one's head. And so, again, I know it's small, minute things, but she does an incredible job, and we haven't seen anybody come through the ring that can move around the ring like she does with one of her sheep. It's ultra impressive. Young lady right here in third, another in fourth, does an absolutely incredible job. Her body posture and hand placement, perfect. Where she keeps that sheep's nose at the perfect 90-degree angles. Absolutely awesome. I wish we could rip her neck out of her just a little bit more, make her look like she's got just a little bit more extension. And then as we studied them over there, small, minor things, the feet being off just a little bit. But, man, when you get her stuck and you get her parked, you do everything to an absolute T. Absolutely incredible job. Young lady right here is one that probably just grew on me, to be honest with you. I don't think maybe as just as flashy or intense as some, but I thought the longer we're out here, the longer we show that young lady just works out. She does an awesome job. She's smooth. She's efficient. Awesome in terms of her body posture and her hand placement. Maybe not as quick to the draw as some of them directly in front of her, but I thought everything that she did was really, really good. Obviously, a lot of heats in this particular division. We brought a lot of kids back. All of them did a really, really awesome job. Young lady that's going to go ahead and be sixth. Incredibly intense. For me, almost just a little too much. You'll get that sheep driving just a little too hard. Need to manage that sheep in terms of his top line. Young lady there coming next. Another showman that does an incredible job. Just at times, maybe that sheep will get just a little lackadaisical in terms of his spine. His front feet will get off. Young man coming here next. Again, you just want to get that sheep a little lackadaisical in terms of his spine, of her spine, so we can manage those things. And then kids on down the line, just small minor things in terms of feet placement, wrong view, maybe sheep not wanting to act right, but all of them do an incredible job. If you guys would give them a real nice round of applause, they deserve it. They're doing an incredible job.
All right, now entering the ring, we have our first class of junior showmanship on the sheep side. We need our second class to be making their way to the holding area. Again, entering the ring is class 10, class 11, junior showman. You guys should be making your way to the check-in area.
Good way to get things kicked off here at our junior showmanship. Again, I think another awesome heat that I'm excited to work through this particular division. Young lady up front here with the speckle. Awesome job in terms of her body posture, her eye contact, getting that sheep to drive and brace the way it needs to. He's probably just thrown too many fits for the young lady. If he had just a little bit better attitude, I think everything else that she does is really, really good. She can probably go ahead and get the pull. Young lady here, another showman, I think an awesome job. I thought a close pull in my mind. Her body posture, eye contact, and intensity are really good. For me, I want to relax that sheep in terms of his nose, collect him in terms of his spine, and score him up in terms of where his rear feet are at. But up front, in terms of your positioning on the front skeleton of that sheep is really, really good. Young lady right here, awesome job. Gets that thing's head and neck right where it needs to be at a 90-degree angle. You get her just a little too stretched out. She gets too lackadaisical in terms of her spine. We can get that sheep to drive a little bit more, get her belly up, then I think you can go ahead and get the pull. Young lady here with the south down square in terms of feet, good in terms of basics. Want to get that thing's head and neck, rock back just a little bit more. Kind of wants to roll just a little too far forward. Up front, everything's awesome, young lady. Just got to manage where her feet are at down low. Young lady here coming next. Another showman that I think does a really, really good job in terms of her body positioning, in terms of keeping that sheep's head and neck right where it needs to be, jet level in terms of her spine, just some small feet management things, and then she can go ahead and get the pull. Young lady right here, another showman, really good job. Just want to change some things in terms of her positioning and body posture up front to make her look just a shot more comfortable. Young lady right here, just need to relax that sheep in terms of his nose, collect him in terms of his spine, and manage that. Score him up in terms of his rear feet, but everything else is really, really good. Young lady's kind of got a tough draw, but when she gets this sheep where he needs to, awesome job. Her body positioning and hand placements are really, really good. If we could just manage that sheep in terms of his spine just a little bit more, I think you can go ahead and make the pull. But if you guys would, give all these kids a real nice round of applause. Looks like it's going to be a fun division to work through.
All right. Finalists from Class 10 will be Jordan Green and Baylor Johnson. Now entering the ring, we have Class 11 of Junior Showmanship. Again, in the ring now, we have Class 11 Junior Showman. I need Class 12 Junior Showmanship to be making your way up to the holding area. Class 12 Junior Showmanship, please be making your way up to the holding area.
little bit of a smaller heat here, but still the quality still rocking and rolling. That young man up front, his initial impression right out of the gate, buddy, is really good. Your intensity and your eye contact's absolutely awesome. I just wish we'd get that sheep to maybe just square him up in terms of his hind leg, and if we could manage him in terms of his spine quality, make sure we keep it up. It'll get just a little loose on you, but I think your body posture, your hand placement's really, really good, and then that initial impression as you instantly come through the gate is something that's hard to do. I think absolutely awesome. When you get her stuck right here, it's money. Body posture, your hand positioning is really, really good. It's just we just don't get this view every time. You're a little slower to the gun, and then we got to watch her. She'll want to lock out in terms of her hock just a little bit, but when you get her right there, it's absolutely money. If we could be just a little quicker to the draw, manage her, and make sure we're keeping her driving and bracing so she doesn't lock out in terms of her rear leg, then I think you're an easy pull in my mind. Young lady right here has got a bigger sheep, does a good job in terms of getting low on that particular sheep. Again, we just need to manage him in terms of his spine, relax him in terms of his nose, and then I think if we could be just a little quicker, then again, I think an easy pull in my mind. Young man right here, real good job in terms of drive and brace. Just need to square her up in terms of where her feet are at. Awesome eye contact, awesome in terms of where you position yourself on the front skeleton of that sheep. We need to open her up in terms of her front feet and just change her in terms of making sure we're got squared up there on her back feet, and then I think you can go ahead and be a pull. Young lady right here, really good job. You just get the sheep to drive a little too hard, and her front feet will want to work underneath of herself. If we can manage that, everything else is real good in terms of your mechanics. I thought another showman that could easily make the pool. If you guys would, give me another round of applause.
All right, Class 11 finalists is Charlie Paget. Class 12 is in the ring now, which means we need Class 13 to be making their way up to the holding area. Class 13, Junior Showmanship. You guys would make your way into the holding area.
We've got a really, really deep competitive heat over here. Young lady up front, I thought was a close pull because I think everything she does up front on the front skeleton of that sheep is really, really good. I think her eye contact and her intensity, absolutely awesome. She does a good job in terms of managing that sheep's spine. For me, we just need to square him up in terms of where feet are at. I just wish we get him just a little more stretched out, but I think everything else you do, really, really good. Young lady here with the blue sheep, again, I think a showman does a good job in terms of eye contact. Wish we could just manage that sheep's front skeleton just a little bit better, get his head and neck up and get his neck back into him just a little bit more. Young lady right here is another one that I thought was a close pull. She does a good job in terms of her positioning. She gets a lot out of that particular sheep. For me, though, again, rear feet just get off a little, just too many times, and then maybe just not as quick to the draw. Little buddy right here, you got you an absolute heater, and you're trying your hardest to get him shown. He's a big sheep, and you're a small kid. When we can get him there, it's really, really good. It's a tight for me. I thought he was a close pull. For me, though, maybe just not as advanced in terms of getting feet where they need to be as the people that we did pull, but I think a showman in my mind in motion is absolutely incredible. Looks like he's going to have a very, very bright future. Looks like he should have a pretty solid day tomorrow in the Dorset or Speckle show. Young lady here is going to round out. Really good job. Just need to get that sheep's head and neck positioned more appropriately, rock it back, square him up in terms of rear feet, but if you guys would, give all of them a really nice round of applause.
All right, coming back from Class 12 of Junior Showmanship, we'll have Silas Hartman, Reese Howell, and Blake Parcel. Now entering the ring, we have Class 13 Junior Showmanship. Class 14, Junior Showmanship. Class 14, Junior Showmanship. If you're a junior and you have not shown in showmanship, this is your last call to make your way to the holding area.
Another really good heat. Young buddy here up front, really good body positioning. You got your feet where they need to be. We just need to get her head and neck rocked back just a little bit more. And then I think you're a no-brainer in my mind to make the pull. Young lady right here is awesome in terms of intensity and eye contact. Awesome on the front skeleton of this particular sheep. Just want to get his front feet just too offset. Want to just change that one. He'll get just a little lackadaisical there in terms of his spine. Little buddy right here, he gets absolutely after it, and I like that about him. Maybe just, again, as we've talked about, not as quick to the draw, maybe some of those others. When we do get her there, it's really good. I think there's just too many times in between. We just don't have feet perfectly square and where they need to be, but he knows to switch sides. He knows to get that ewe lamb's head and neck right where it needs to be. I think future is bright for that young man. Young lady here coming next with the south down. Just wish we could manage that one in terms of rear feet placement. Wrap your body more around the front side of that sheep. Get his head, her head and neck in a more appropriate angle. But I think everything else is real good. Young lady right here, another showman. Really good job. Feet placement's accurate. Body positioning's right. Want to maybe relax your hands a little bit. Get that one's nose to maybe sit more at a 90-degree angle. Little buddy right here, he's got him a big sheep, and he does a good job about managing it. I think if we can get a little bit more out of him, change him in terms of where his rear feet hit the surface, because I think everything else is real good. Small showman, big sheep, you still manage and handle it really well. Absolutely awesome when you ask these things to get out and go in motion between that particular pair. Young man right here is another showman that I thought does a really, really good job. If we could just wrap your body around the front of that sheep a little bit more, get her head and neck to rock up out of her just a shot more, then I think you can go ahead and make the pull. But if you guys would, give all these kids a real nice round of applause. They're doing an awesome job.
All right, I need Bryson Rookstool, Flint Kennedy, and Aubrey Mason. You guys need to be making your way to the holding area. Your class is about to enter the ring. Again, Bryson Rookstool, Flint Kennedy, and Aubrey Mason. Your class is entering the ring. This is the final call. Bryson Rookstool, Flint Kennedy, and Aubrey Mason. Your class is entering the ring. I want to take another minute to recognize a couple of our grand champion sponsors. I know we've mentioned Pine Bluffs Distilling over here. They donate a bottle to the champion and reserve to the parents of those animals throughout the weekend. So appreciate them. A unique opportunity is those bottles are private labeled for the Cheyenne Livestock Expo. So the board gets to get together and go out to their facility and taste barrels and then select a barrel that they fill those bottles with. So really appreciate them and their sponsorship. They've been with us since the very beginning. So if you're looking for a tasty drink, I encourage you to go support them the way they support support us, and go visit them over by their tent by the bleachers. They're serving up some really tasty drinks. Also want to thank Showtech Feeds. Krisha's here with Showtech. She's actually running our hog show for us. So appreciate everything she does on the sponsorship side and also volunteering her time to work with our hog exhibitors over there. So really just want to give a shout out to those Grand Champion sponsors.
Another awesome heat, and I think this will be our last heat within this particular division, and so really excited to get there into our junior drive. A young lady here up front gets a lot out of this particular sheep in terms of drive and brace. Just want to relax that one in terms of his head, his neck, and his nose, because everything else is really good in terms of management of feet and just her mechanics and body posture. Young lady here that's going to go ahead and come next, got a big sheep. She does a real good job about managing that, keeping that thing's head and neck where it needs to be. Just need to make sure we're keeping him in line, square him up in terms of feet, but everything else is a really nice job with. Thought the young lady right here was a really close call. Her body posture, just her hand placement's really good. Her eye contact and intensity is really good. If we could just maybe manage where her rear feet are at, and I think you're an easy pull. So I think everything else you do is really good. Young man right here, you get a lot out of this particular sheep. You keep that thing where she needs to be. You get a lot of drive and a lot of brace out of her. Just again, some small minor things to go ahead and take home and work with in terms of feet, stuff like that. I think you do that, then I think you're an easy pull. Good eye contact, and you get a lot out of her. If you guys would, give all of them a real nice round of applause. Excited to get into our junior drive.
All right, coming back out of class 13, we have Parker Bobenmeyer and Jack Campbell. And out of this last class, class 14, we've got Brody Kilduff. So now entering the ring, we have our champion drive of our junior showmanship in the sheep side. All right, and for the highlight of the day, I need our pre-junior showmen to start making their way over to the check-in area. I'm sure Pam cannot wait to see you. All right, just a reminder, I know goat and hog exhibitors are kind of wrapped up here. We will be closing the barn again at 9 p.m. So make sure that we've got kind of chores and everything wrapped up by 9 p.m. and then we will open the barn at 6 a.m. again, or 5 a.m., sorry, 5 a.m. All right, another reminder as well. Again, the barn will close at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. We would again suggest that you do everything you can to make sure your gates are secure. My mom and Dylan and I kind of spent some time last night with some critters out, so just make sure that your gates are secure. And we will open the barn at 5 a.m. tomorrow. I'll take a second to recognize a couple of our vendors that have sponsored the show. We had a lot of sweatshirts towards the beginning of the show, and we actually reordered before this weekend, and we sold out on the first day. And those sweatshirts were made by Grow Business Solutions. So we really want to thank Kelly Groney for everything she does for us as far as getting us some apparel. And then we also would like to thank Legacy Livestock Imaging for being with us throughout the show. They've got photographers in the show ring around the barn. Heidi's been at the backdrop there, so really appreciate Heidi and her crew. You guys can go visit their website and download those images.
Another awesome group of junior showmen here. These will go ahead and be our Cheyenne too. And I thought both these showmen, from initial impression within their particular classes, hit me really, really hard. I think both of them very similar in some of the things they do in terms of just the basics, in terms of positioning and body posture, and just their mannerisms each and every time, keeping those sheep set the same way each time. Young man with the blue sheep, I think you do an absolutely incredible job, and I think that your future is very, very bright. You are so calm, so cool and collected, and just you set that sheep up the same way each. You blend and mesh to the front side of that sheep just seamlessly. We ask these things to go in motion, and you are cat-like with that particular sheep in terms of your mobility. If I'm going to get critical, if we could manage keeping his belly up just a little bit, but I think that's going to be throwing stones and really, really probably just a fern in a redwood forest, because everything else that you do is really good. The young lady with the Dorset sheep, absolutely incredible job. Her positioning and body posture again is really, really good. Her eye contact's good. In motion, it's very, very good. At times, we'll get him to drive a little hard and a washout in terms of his loin, just the nickel. But again, I think that's getting real, real critical. I think you've got a really, really high quality white sheep. I thought both of you did an absolutely incredible job. I give both those young exhibitors a real nice round of applause. Young man that's going to go ahead and be third is one that I really like. And when we get things where they need to be, I think it is really, really good. I guess just for me, I thought it was tight knit within that particular top trio. You want to get her nose just a little high up for me. And then I think when we go to set them up, it's more your mannerisms. You're a little herky-jerky. She'll kind of fight with you and hunker back when you go to pop her. And so maybe just not as smooth and just not as seamless as those two. But I think you do a really nice job. I remember this young man in this particular blue sheep, when they showed, thought they do an awesome job, awesome in motion. Does a real good job in terms of getting a lot out of this particular ewe. I think his body positioning and posture is really, really good. You'll get just maybe a little bear polish in terms of your hands on that particular ewe's head. I think if we could maybe roll back, I think accentuate that one's front skeleton just a little bit better, and maybe square up where her back feet are at, and then I think we can work you up. Young man right here, you really worked up on me. I think you just do an awesome job in terms of the basics. I wish we could get that sheep to drive just a little bit harder. She'll want to lock out just a little bit there in terms of her hock, but I thought everything else that you do is very, very good. I thought Showman here on down the line all doing an awesome job. Just small minor things in terms of feet placement, maybe getting these sheep a little overdrove, and then maybe just not as quick to the draw. But again, an incredible group. All these kids should be commended for making it to this particular point. If you guys would, give them a real nice round of applause.
All right, for our grand finale over here on the showmanship side, we have our pre-junior showman on the sheep. I want to again, as we round out the show, thank Evan for joining us today in the sheep ring. We've worked him around the ring here today, and is definitely going to earn his keep here on these pre-junior showmanships, maybe saving the hardest job for last. So really appreciate Evan. If we could give a hand to Evan and thank him for what he's done with our kids today. Again, just like every other division, the pre-juniors will receive, the top 5 will receive jackets, and we will be selecting a Cheyenne 2 out of this division. So definitely kudos to all these youngsters, and we hope they stay involved going forward. And I know there's a lot of older kids that we saw in the seniors and intermediates and juniors that should be excited to spend some time and coach these youngsters up.
Well, what a way to round out our evening with the best and toughest class that we've had to this particular point, and tremendously high-quality group of showmen the whole way through. I'd say I've yet to judge a lot of these, kind of novice or pre-junior divisions, and this is probably the deepest one that I've had the opportunity to sort and evaluate through. Of just kids who've got some ring knowledge and whereabouts and the ability to get in front of these things and get a little drive and embrace. These to go ahead and be a Cheyenne too, and I think both these young ladies do an absolutely hammer job. They work hard out here to get these sheep presented in the way and the manner that they need to. I remember this young lady right here, she showed today, and I thought an absolutely incredible job, and she comes back out here, still manages it and does it. Again, just the things that she can do at this particular stage of the game in terms of knowing she's got to get that thing's belly up to keep her spine collected, knowing to rock that thing's back and get out when she needs to, I think is absolutely awesome. Young lady up front here with the south down, incredibly intense and absolutely awesome in terms of her body posture and positioning. And I really appreciate two young kids that can get out and set feet and just do the things that they do. Absolutely awesome job. Young man that is going to go ahead and come here next. Your basics are really good in terms of just body positioning. Like keeping that thing's head and neck right where it needs to be. Feet are always square and where they need to go. You've got her trained to an absolute T. Maybe just not as advanced as the two young ladies in front of you in terms of getting out and setting feet, but what you can do in terms of being quick and efficient and having her broke to go right into place where you want her and just popping her and getting her to go, I think is very, very impressive. Young lady here coming next, another showman that I remembered earlier on from the day that does an absolutely awesome job. Her eye contact is absolutely awesome. That's awesome in terms of just her body positioning. Maybe doesn't manage her head and her neck and her nose like the three showmen in front of her, but I think what you do is absolutely awesome. The young lady here that's coming next has got a mean mug on her. She hits the gate and she'll stare right through your soul. There's no doubt about it, and I like that. Keep that up and then just keep progressing your showmanship ability and style in terms of getting these sheep set and keeping feet set where they need to be, because you've got your positioning from a body posture standpoint down, you've got your hand placement down, and you've certainly got the eye of the tiger down. So go home and continue to work. That kid's on down the line here, absolutely awesome job. Just small minor things to go home and work on. If you guys would give not only these kids but everybody that showed us sheep today a really nice round of applause. Excited to be back with you tomorrow and work through your dough show.